In the first half of the 20th century, many cities across America used trolley systems to get their people to where they wanted to go, and Columbus, Ohio was no exception. Today, almost all traces of the former trolley system that ran through Columbus, Ohio is now gone. But at the Ohio Railway Museum, one of the last streetcars that ran in Columbus is still around. Columbus Street Railway 703, also known as Columbus and Southern Electric Railway 703, still resides at the museum today. Currently, ORM is wanting to restore 703 to operational condition, but in order to do that, ORM needs money, and this is where you guys come in. ORM has started a GoFundMe page to raise money for 703's restoration. The goal for the page is to raise $25,000 to cover the cost of the restoration. If you wish, you can donate as little or as much money as you can to the restoration efforts of 703. Even as much as $5 is appreciated. So, if you wish to see 703 back up and running again, go to https://www.gofundme.com/bring-703-back-2-life to donate as much money as you can afford. Also, if you wish to come visit the museum and see 703 or any other piece of equipment at Ohio Railway Museum, we are located at 990 Proprietors Road, Worthington, Ohio, and our open hours are from 12 noon to 4 p.m. each Sunday through spring, summer, and fall. I hope you guys come visit and see 703, and hopefully someday soon we'll see 703 back up and running. Nelsonville, Ohio, home to the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. Normally, this railway is operated by diesel locomotives, but for today, steam has returned. On the weekend of November 3rd and 4th, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway operated Hocking Valley No. 3 on their regular excursions from Nelsonville, Ohio to East Logan, Ohio, and on to Hocking College. We also get to see Hocking Valley Railway No. 4005 in action as well. Let's get started and watch Hocking Valley Railway No. 3 as it trembles down the Hocking Valley. Nelsonville, Ohio, home to 5,392 people and the home of the Hocking College, is located in southeastern Ohio, and it's also home to one of the most well-known tourist railroads in the state of Ohio, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. This tourist railroad is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that operates 12 miles of the former C&O/Hocking Valley Railway line from Hocking College campus to East Logan, Ohio. On November 4, 2018, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway was operating former Ohio Power Company No. 3 on its excursions from Nelsonville, Ohio to East Logan and return. But before we get started on the chase, let's talk about the history of this particular locomotive. This locomotive is an 060 Baldwin type, built in 1920 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works. It first worked for the Beach Bottom Power Plant at a town called Power, West Virginia. Today, the town is completely gone thanks to the closure of the plant in 1973, but 4 years earlier, before the plant was completely shut down, No. 3 was moved to a strip mine which lied just southwest of Cumberland, Ohio. When No. 3 arrived in Cumberland, Ohio, it was put on display in a small park along State Route 83, just south of town, which just so happened to lie on Ohio Power Company lands. By this time, Ohio Power had taken over Beach Bottom Power. The engine sat on display there until 1982, when the American Electric Power, more commonly referred to as AEP, donated No. 3 to the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway. By this time, AEP had taken over Ohio Power, just as Ohio Power did to Beach Bottom. Today, all the lands that once occupied the strip-lined area has now been turned into recreational lands, Jesse Owens State Park and Wildlife Area, and more famously, the Wilds. But we're not here to talk about all that. Getting back on track, No. 3 was put on display on the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway until 2003, when it was moved to the railway's new Nelsonville Shops for restoration. It wouldn't be until 2015 when No. 3 was finished with its restoration and pulled its first excursions over the Hocking Valley as their No. 3. After the 2015 excursions, No. 3 went back into the shops, and it wouldn't be until now that No. 3 would pull another set of excursion runs over the Hocking Valley. Soon it was 11 o'clock, and after the crew did their checks and balances, they were given permission by dispatch to depart, bound for East Logan, Ohio.
Roger, the depot is clear. Roger, you're clear.
Is that the channel we want to? Yes.
No. 3, you got your crew members on board? We're all aboard.
Roger.
As the train was leaving, a bee noticed me filming it and decided he wanted to investigate what I was doing. small community of Haydenville, Ohio, at the Haydenville Depot. The depot was built in 1903 by the Hocking Valley Railway to replace an older wooden depot which was built in 1876. Today, the Haydenville Depot is owned by the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway, but as you can see, it's in very much disrepair. Currently, both the Haydenville Preservation Community, the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway, and others have been working to make sure that this depot survives. Hopefully someday, the depot might get restored to its former glory. After about 15 minutes passed, I started wondering where the train was. Soon after that, some rail fans joined me and informed me that the train had stopped just down the line to build boiler pressure for number 3. After about 5 or 10 more minutes later, we then heard over the scanner that number 3 was done building boiler pressure and was resuming its trip down the line. After pacing the train down Hocking Drive, we both reached East Logan, Ohio. At East Logan, number 3 will run around its train for the return journey. While they were doing that, I got set up at the small bridge crossing over 3 Mile Creek, just off of Hocking Drive. Soon, number 3 came trundling down the line tender first, crossing 3 Mile Creek. I was also using my GoPro to get some interesting underbelly shots of the train. Here we see it at the same location as the train goes right underneath us. As soon as the train returned to Nelsonville, number 3 was taken off the train and replaced with Hocking Valley number 4005. After 4005 was coupled up, it took the train the rest of the way to Hocking College. While 4005 was handling the excursion train, we broke off to see number 3 at the Nelsonville engine house. The engine house was built in 2002 in order to replace their first engine house, which was lost in 1995. In 2003, a third track was added, making this engine shed much bigger than their original. The yard the engine house is located in is also where the Hocking Valley stores most of their equipment. The reason why number 3 was taken off was because the engine's ash pan needed to be cleaned out. The engine was having lots of trouble running this morning because of it. While they were cleaning the ash pan out from yesterday's and this morning's excursions, they were also taking the time to top off the engine's coal supply and do some maintenance on it. My dad and I also took the opportunity to videotape and photograph them at work. After seeing them at work, we then broke off for lunch. After lunch, we then went to the Hocking College, where we caught 4005, returning the excursion train back to the Nelsonville Depot. I also had my GoPro out to get another shot of the excursion train, this time with 4005 pushing.
Stop letting these guys kick you around.
After the excursion train returned to the depot, number 3 was put back on the train, ready for the 3 o'clock run. We first see number 3 as it crosses the Hocking River in the western side of Nelsonville. our last shots, we see number 3 as it crosses 3 Mile Creek again, this time pulling the train across. We also get to see number 3 again, going underneath my GoPro. After number 3's train passed, we ended our day on the Hocking Valley. The Hocking Valley Scenic Railway is a very beautiful railroad to visit, especially when they're running their steam engine number 3. But whatever the locomotive, it's always still a beautiful railroad. We'll definitely come back to see this railroad again in the future. If you want to know more about the Hocking Valley Scenic Railway and what excursion train rides they offer, you can go to their website at https://www.hvsry.org. Well, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you later.